Hi there, Bakas. Today we're going to talk about what linguistics calls modal verbs and another structure plays a modality called perfect modal verbs. But first and foremost, we have to know what the fuck is modal verb. So we're going to compare normal verbs such as speak and modal verbs such as can.
When comparing two verbs, a normal verb such as speak and a modal verb such as can, we can see that structurally, speak, that is normal verb, needs auxiliaries. So I speak, I don't speak, do you speak? But it's exactly the same for the rest of tenses, like for the future, I will speak, I won't speak, or will you speak? So the modal verbs do not need extra auxiliary verbs, but they can conjugate themselves, like I can, I can't, can I?
So the first thing that we notice is that a modal verb is an auxiliary verb, okay? So now let's compare a modal verb versus an auxiliary verb.
Now we're comparing an auxiliary verb such as will for the future versus a modal verb such as can. We can see that auxiliary verbs have no meaning, they just have grammatical meaning. When we hear the word will, we know that the following verb will be in the future. So I will speak has a future meaning, but it doesn't have any lexical meaning whatsoever. Versus with modal verbs, when you use the modal verb, you can find tense, that is, that of present or future in the case of I can speak, plus extra meaning in this case is the ability to speak.
Therefore, a modal verb can be defined as an auxiliary verb with extra meaning. Well, but these modal verbs can be divided into different categories depending on the extra meaning that they show. For example, you've got the category related to ability modal verbs, as in the example, Amparo can speak Arabic and dance Vogue, or Amparo could drink a gallon of beer when she was a kid, okay? Also, the second category is that of obligation. For example, Paco must get fit or he will die, which is a strong obligation, whereas you can find should, as in the example, Amarosa should have a shower if she wants to make new friends, and it's a weaker obligation. It's considered to be like recommendation, a piece of advice, okay? And also, final category we can find is that of possibility. For example, I may marry my dog after the quarantine, or I might become an origami expert one day, okay? Well, all modal verbs have lots of things in common. Let's pay attention to those things in common.
These are all the characteristics that modal verbs have. They are followed by infinitive without to, such as in he can go. They get the negation inserted in themselves, like he cannot go. And there is inversion for questions like can he go? And these are the characteristics that they do not have. They lack ing form, like you can't say I'm canning. They don't have ed forms whatsoever, like you can't use the past participle in the case of I have can't. And also they lack the third person singular for the present simple in he can't.
However, this is a problem because modal verbs are defective. This means that they don't have all the possible forms that most normal verbs have. So this will give us a problem, especially when transforming them into different tenses. For example, for the past tense, that's why we need the perfect modal structure. So, a perfect modal is a structure that we use to put the modal verbs into the pasts. For example, if I say, Amparo can't have been to the party because she was shagging in the car park, it means that there is a past certainty, okay? Also, if you say, Paca must have blacked out after drinking 3 bottles of tequila, it's also a certainty in the past. Another example could be like Amarosa might have met a millionaire on Tinder because she went to that super expensive restaurant, means a possibility in the past. Maybe she did that. And also last one is like Antonia should have studied harder because she's 50 years old and she knows shit about life, means that she didn't study in the past, okay? So basically a perfect modal structure is as following.
This is the structure of a perfect modal verb. You use any modal that you need, plus have, which will always be have, never has or had, always have, and the third column, ed in the case of regular verbs, or the third column in the case of irregular verbs.
Well, I hope this lesson helped you, and then from now on, you will stop making the same stupid mistakes because I'm sick and tired of correcting all the time the same stupid questions, alright? Well, see you soon, Pippa-Boon. I'm off, motherfuckers. Bye. First and foremost, we're gonna start speaking about what the fuck is a modal verb? No, stop. Some se me ha ido el ratafieler. ¡Yay! Me vuelvo crazy. No puedo. Ah, mierda, joder, la puta. Ay, mierda, no me gusta. However, this means there is a problem because they are defective. That means that they don't have all the... Yeah, pero por medio. That means that they don't have all the possible forms that most verbs have. So this will give us like... Y otra vez está chucho.